Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome, my dear students. With you, Mr. Mahmoud Sulaiman from As-Safa Azharian Institute. Our lesson today about plotting along or breaking the bar. We have a line plot or double bar graph. Line plot with fractions is a line plot is a graph that shows the frequency of data along the number line. A line plot is used to represent and to compare data. Example number one, let's take an example for a line plot. Example number one, Farid collected data about the number of hours spent doing homework of his friends to the nearest half of hour, and the data was as the following. We have 4, 2, 3.5, 4.5, 3, 3.5, 2.5, 4, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 5.5, 4, 3, and so on. If I want to represent this data on the line plot, we will put the smallest number here, or we can start with 1, have 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, and so on by the same amount, by the same distance or the same amount. We have here the list. The list one is 1.5. The list number here 1.5. Repeated how many times? Okay, I will mark it. We have 1.5 repeated one time. There is not exist another 1.5 here, so we have 1.5 here, 1x. 1x, and we can represent it and 1.5. Number 2, it's repeated how many times? 1 and 2. 2 times. 2.5 repeated how many times? It exists 1, 2.5, and 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 repeated how many times? 1, 2. 2 times. 3.5 repeated how many times? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 3 times. 4 repeated how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 4.5 repeated 1 and 2 times. 5, there is not exist a number 5 here. 5.5 repeated, repeated how many times? 1 times, just only 1 times. We represent it as a line plot. So example number one, Amgad has a farm and just received a shipment of young tomato plants. He wanted to get a clear view of the lengths of plants. He received it to the nearest 1/4 decimeter. So we have this data and I represent it to you in the line plot. So 3 repeated how many times here? It's repeated one time. 3 and fourths and 3.5. 3 3/4, 4 4 4/4, 4 4/4, and 4 2/4 here, and so on. 4.5, because we go steps by 1/4 to the nearest 1/4. I start with 3 and go 3/4, 3 and 1/4 is 3.5, 3 and 3/4, 4 4.4, 4.5, and choose that in this table how many times 3 repeated and 3.5 repeated, and so on. Represented this data by a line plot, then answer the following question. What plant height occurred most often? Plant height occurred most often, we have here 4 and 4 decimeter. Which heights were recorded for the same number of plants? Which height were recorded for the same number of plants? We have here 3 3/4 decimeter and 4.5. The same, we have here the same number of plants at 3 3/4 and 4.5. We have here 4 and we have here 4, the same number of plants. How many plants how many plants did Amgad measure altogether? Did Amgad measure altogether? We have 20 plants. We will count all of these x's. We have 4 and 6, 10, 10, 2 and 4, 6, 16, 3, 19, and 1, 20 plants. What was the height of each of the tallest and shortest plants? Highest highest, tallest, or the shortest. Tallest one 4.5, and shortest one is 3 decimeter. How many total plants measured 4 decimeter and 4.5 decimeter? We will adding 4 decimeter to 4.5. From 4 to 4.5, we have 2 plus 6 plus 4, so we have 12 plants. How many more plants were 4.5 decimeters than? Where then? So we will subtract here 4 and a quarter from 3.5. 6 minus 3 equal 3 plants. Second, construct a double bar graph. How to construct a double bar graph? First, decide what title you will give the graph. Decide if you want horizontal or vertical bars. Number three, choose a suitable scale. Number four, put labels on the axis. Number five, draw the bars. Number six, give the two different colors for differentiating the two bars. Examples: the opposite data shows the scores obtained by the four friends Yusuf, Sameh, Noah, and Ola. In the pre-test and test represented this data by a double bar graph. Students score: we have name of student Yusuf, Sameh, Noah, and Ola. Pre-test 60, test 70, and so on. We can represent it in the double bar graph like this shape. We finished our lesson today. See you next week.